Hello, Kenny Harper. In this video, we're talking about how to maximize your ROI, return on investment, whether you're putting in time, you're putting in your energy, or you're investing money into something. You want to focus on the return. You'll only have a limited amount of time. So once it's gone, it's gone. Your energy, once you use it, it is drained. And you want to make sure that if you're putting money to something, you're getting more money coming back to you. All these things we know, but how do you go about doing that? In this video, I'm giving a success story for maximizing ROI following the 7 steps of the Amplified growth cycle. Welcome to Growth Amplifiers, where we showcase the best tips, resources, and tools to amplify and scale your business. Now, I was working with Carrie, who is a bookkeeper, and she was discouraged by low return on investment from her time. She's putting a lot of time in. She was working on the weekends, she was working late evenings, and just underwhelmed on how she was seeing it in her pocket and her business, just totally frustrated with it. She was putting in that energy too. She just felt drained, putting so much time and energy into something. And then paying her staff salary, hiring people to help her out, and still just not seeing the fruits of her labor. The challenge was she was so busy just working in the whirlwind, she didn't take the step back to learn where she should be putting her time and attention. She wasn't looking on how to optimize, and she definitely wasn't leading her team to the best of her ability. So what we did is we started working with her to implement the 7 steps of the Amplified growth cycle to maximize her return on investment. So this means training with her leadership team, and her team. So everyone's on the same page. Everyone's very clear what the focus is. Everyone's very clear what the plan is. And we're checking in to make sure that we're executing, measuring the results, and reviewing and refining along the way. And ultimately what this did, it transformed her team. I mean, she was able to achieve new levels of success that she never imagined was possible because she finally took a step back. And rather than just continually work, she said, let me follow a framework that's going to help us get more lines, that's going to get more focused, and that's going to drive us to improve in the areas that would have the most impact. That's what's possible when you're following a framework designed to improve and amplify. What we're going to go through right now are the 7 steps we use to maximize return on investment. Now, this is also going to help you get better results in your business, get more aligned, get more focused, because it's a process. And we're going to start off, the first thing we'll do is we want to make sure that you're fueled. And what we're talking about is you're energized, whether that's yourself or your leadership team or your team. You want to make sure that everyone that's working together to achieve things are fueled up. You know why you're doing what you're doing. So it's time to remember what your mission is, make sure that you've identified your why, and everyone's fueled up. When you're fueled, it's time to get focused. You can't do everything all at once. So we go through the process of assessing the different areas of your business and determine which area needs the most attention. Now, sometimes it's very obvious because you're going to have a big flashing problem that needs to be addressed, but sometimes it's harder to determine. And you need to assess to see where you need to put focus to strengthen and elevate your business. By assessing, you can determine where the focus needs to be, and then you can start ideating and thinking about all the different ways you can improve in that area. So for example, if your challenge is in sales and marketing, you might say, all right, well, we need to improve how we're getting our message to our market. We need to make sure that we're following up better with prospects that are coming in. We need to work on creating a better offer. We need to craft a better experience so we can excite prospects when we have conversations. We need to have a way of creating advocates and promoters for our business. So you can look at all the different things you could do. And then you've got to prioritize which of these would have the most impact, which do we feel the most confident about, and which would be the easiest to pull off. And you could prioritize them. And then when they're prioritized, you put them into a plan. You get really clear with your goals and objectives, and then you create an action plan so you know who's doing what and when. Make sure that everyone knows what they're accountable for. You create a clear plan, you can expect to get better results. As they say, measure twice, cut once. A plan is just a plan unless you execute it. So the next step is execution. We got to make sure that we're executing by making sure, number one, everyone understands the plan. Each week, it's recommended to make sure that you're checking in with everyone on the team who's supposed to be acting on it and taking the actions to influence and predict the result. And you want to make sure that you're measuring and tracking things along the way because you want to see what's working and if there's any bottlenecks, if there's anything anything that's held up. You want to be able to track that so you can clear the path and make sure everything's flowing. You want to enforce accountability, not in a disciplinarian way, but in a way that encourages everyone to come together and achieve synergy. And then after you've gone through that process, you want to step back and review what worked, what didn't work, what can be improved. Now, notice this is a cycle. So if you continually flow through this cycle and you say, all right, let's get refueled. Let's determine where we're going to focus. Let's prioritize the ideas we can put into action. Let's put it into a plan. Let's execute that plan. Let's make sure that we're checking in and encouraging everyone to achieve the results. Let's measure our progress, and then let's continue to review and refine. If you continue to go through that process, you'll maximize your ROI on any effort that you're taking, whether that's marketing, whether that's operations, whether that's developing team culture. It is a process to maximize your return on investment. So you can't save time, but you can put better focus on where you're putting your time. You can really get focused on where you're putting your energy so that you're being more efficient and effective, and ultimately where you're putting your money so that you're getting a better return on investment and results. So it's all those processes. When you put them together, you can maximize your ROI. So those are simple steps you can follow, put it into your business. And I'd love to hear your comments on what are some amplifier actions that you do to get everyone on the same page and achieve the amplified results. To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.